Little off. Oops, forgot something. Walk back around here. That's for a Pater. A Pater Films. You gotta check out that YouTube channel. It's beautiful. It's amazing. If you, I got the First Order mug right here, but on the other side, the Rebel Alliance. You have to have both the light and the dark, right? You have to have the black and the white pillars. And the goal is to go up the middle pillar, right? You travel up the middle pillar. But anyways, Jesus. Yeah. A Pater Films. This guy, it's this guy that lives in Norway, and he drinks vodka in like almost every video, and he'll take a big swig and it's awesome. If you're tired of listening to talking, because most videos are people talking, most videos are commentators or the news or whatever. If you're tired of all of that and you just want to chill out and relax and see nature, A Pater Films is a beautiful YouTube channel. Subscribe to him. He's awesome. Yeah, let's get right into the show. I'm pretty excited about this, episode 4. I also wanted to say, if you want to support the show, I have a link within the description box of the YouTube channel, and I'll try to put a link in the description box of all the videos. So you can go to the About part in YouTube, and it'll be there. It's a link called Support the Show. It'll take you to a PayPal account, and that's where you can put money in if you want to support me in the show. And I would truly appreciate it. And you can help me keep the show ad-free forever. And I don't ever want to run an ad on this show. I don't ever want to take a dime, a penny from any type of businesses that want me to advertise. If I ever get to that level, and I'm sure that I will. I believe in it, that I will. It's the dream. It's the dream for the show to get a lot of attention and to be popular. It's not the dream to become an ad man for all of these companies, because I think it's gross, and I think it's kind of a disgusting business, and listeners have to suffer through it or fast forward it. But either way, it's taking energy. It's taking energy from the listener, from the fan, from the person that's interested in the show or whatever the content of the show is. They have to spend some of their energy to either say yes or no to a product. You're forcing the listener to make a decision, a buying decision, whether they know it or not. They're forced to make a yes or no decision based on a product that you're putting in front of them. So these companies know how we're designed. Like, they know how the human mind works, and how visuals work, and words and different things, and they use that to manipulate us. And I love products. I love capitalism. I love a lot of things about it, and there's a lot of great products out there, but I don't ever want to advertise for them. That's what this show is just what it is. And I would love to make money doing this, but I only want to make money if you enjoy the show, if you watching enjoy it. And that, to me, that is like a true reward for doing this show. If you enjoy watching it and you get something out of it, and you can participate in it if you want by commenting, or I'm not really too active other than sometimes on Facebook and Instagram, but I will interact with you if you comment on the video. I will answer your comment if that's what you want. I will read all of them. I'll never block anybody. You can say whatever you want. I guess just don't be threatening to other people commenting. That kind of thing doesn't really bother me, and I will engage with anybody. You can criticize a show, you can hate it, because that's what I do. I hate other shows too, and I'll feature it. I feature it on here, the stuff that I don't like. But let's get right into the show here. I'm excited, super excited, because I got a lot of stuff written down here. Let's see if I can navigate my way through it. And so this will be like this point right here is I'm accessing the screen recorder. So that's like, I've noticed watching these back, that's the lull point is when I'm like looking down, but it's scroll sessions, right? The show is called Scroll Sessions. That's what I'm doing. I'm scrolling. So just to get this out of the way, I wrote this down and I almost forgot why. But this is Joey Diaz's podcast called The Church of What's Happening Now, episode number 766, featuring Eddie Bravo. And I really love Joey. I really love Eddie. They're both pretty funny guys. And they're talking about conspiracy theories and stuff like that. And I'll just play it for you just to listen, and then I'll comment on whatever's going on.
And I realized something. I was watching TV with my wife last night, 16 minutes or whatever the fuck. And they were talking about, there was a commercial and how they tricked it. They tricked the wording out of it.
Hold on a second. Technical difficulties, technical mishaps, mistakes, bullshit on my end. It's not even plugged into the thing. Hold on. There we go. Okay.
They said, here's what they said. Be sure to watch CBS on Tuesday to pick to see who gets nominated or something, to see who's your next president. The way they worded it was, this is who's going to be your next president, not to who's going to run for the election. You follow what I'm saying to you? So they were telling you, find out who's going to be your president. It was like a mental wash type fucking thing.
That's what they do.
I caught it, and I was like, ooh, that didn't sound right there. So I know the media is always fucking. That's why I don't watch fucking Dick. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, you got to still watch it, though, because you got to know what it is. You got to know what the game is, and you got to play it a certain way, I think. And it's good to stay in touch and to watch the media, to watch the news, and to take all of this stuff in, but to maintain the thought that, or the idea that it's all bullshit, that it's just a form of manipulation. But you got to see what they're trying to do to manipulate you in order to counteract it, right? So Joey says that's why he doesn't watch, but I would say, Joey, you should keep watching.
I got to ask you guys a question. You're both pretty smart dudes. What the fuck am I? Am I a liberal? Am I a Republican? Am I a Democrat? Am I far to the right? Do I hang to the left? I don't even know what this shit is.
Yeah, when
Is Joey talking about his balls or his politics?
What is it?
The right sounded like shit. It was like, oh, they're all about family values. They're all about Christianity. They don't want me to have fun. I want to grow my fucking hair and get drunk, get wasted, fuck chicks. Fuck being a Republican. They're trying to control us. You can't control me. I'm free. I'm a fucking speed metal songs but when you have a kid and you grow up, you realize shit. I thought they were trying to keep us from that. They weren't. They want the kids to be fucked up. They want.
Do they really? Does the left really want the kids to be fucked up? Because liberals and people on the left have children as well, or they raise children or teach children. Do they really want the kids to be fucked up? I don't think that's true. I would have to disagree with that. There may be people on the left that do have maniacal intentions, but as a whole, I don't think the left believes that.
That shit the left wants. That's what it is. It's like, hey, you could be free to be, chase your dreams, go to Hollywood, be a rock star, and they want. That's how they.
And there's nothing wrong with chasing your dreams and going to Hollywood and being a rock star. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what you did, right, Eddie? That's what Joey did. That's what you guys did. You guys went there and you made the dream come true, and you were able to manage your family as well. So these guys are entertainers, and it's kind of like what these guys do. They're kind of hypocritical in a way, and I love them, and I appreciate the commentary on the system and on the left and on the right. I appreciate the opinions, but it is kind of hypocritical to say that you can't raise a family and be part of the Hollywood or the entertainment system. I think that it's very possible to do both, and these guys are proof of that. So it's kind of like, what are they trying to close the door on somebody that has a dream, like on some kid that has a dream to do what they did? Are they kind of closing the door because those kids are competition to them? That might be what it is. That might be where this is coming from. It's like the youth are always kind of a threat to the older people. And the older people try to guide them, quote unquote, to get in line. And because the youth they see the young one coming up as the one that's going to come replace them. So that's kind of a weak, cowardly aspect that some older people, not all, but some older people take on that quality. They take on that aspect of being old. They try to manipulate the young people, or like you see some old preacher, some old minister, and they say, I've lived all the ways of sin, kids, all the sinful ways, and I'm here to tell you that you don't have to live that way. You don't have to follow that path. You can follow this path here that I will teach you. You let me guide you through. Well, why wouldn't you let the kid live his dream or live his life or make his mistakes? That's all part of the path and part of the fun of playing the game of life, of living in this simulation, this giant video game that we live in. You have to, if you want to give people advice, that's fine, but you have to let them make their mistakes and do their thing, I think.
Break families up. It's an operation. The operation is break the fucking family up. So it sounds like a great thing when you're a kid, being a liberal and free and, being able to do what you want. I don't want to go to church. I don't want to be a Christian. Fuck family values. I don't have any kids. But when you have a kid, you realize family values are everything, man. If you don't have family values, you're a fucking piece of shit.
You go to church?
You know what I mean? I don't go to church, but I believe in God. I believe in God.
No, I'm not asking you because of that.
Yeah.
I don't go to church. My wife goes to church with Mercy. Do I like it? I don't like where she goes, but they have a good time. It makes them feel good.
Yeah.
They're gone in and out. I believe in the value of family. I mean, it's my whole life right now.
Yeah, that's a Republican value. Like Republican is...
That's a Republican value. I don't think that it is. I think that it's it is a quality that you see amongst the right. The thing that they preach the family values. They preach the family values, and then within the family, there's the dirty secrets. The abuse, the manipulation, the trying to harness the child, to control the child, to go a certain way. And that is I think trying to control somebody is trying to control your children in a certain way of like, not lovingly, but just kind of like conditional love that you give them. If they go the wrong way, you kind of just abuse them verbally or physically sometimes. But I think the controlling part is the greatest form of abuse. Because it's mental abuse. It's like the child has these desires to do things, to go out into the world to explore it, and then they get a certain age and they want to explore it some more, and they have all this energy to do so, and they have limited fear. They don't have the same fear that we have because they haven't learned it yet. So these are the kids are the ones, or I would say, I don't know, maybe like teenagers or early 20s or something like that. They're the ones that go out and change the world, and they have all these new ideas that are coming from the realm of dreams, and they're going out there and they're making them come true because they have less mental restrictions, and if a parent comes in and hinders that, the kid could be damaged forever. I mean, how many people has that happened to, that that are out there that gave up on the dream so that they could have more of a safe life, more of a comfortable life, more of a predictable life. Like, I got this steady job and I know where I'm going every day, and that's just fine with me. Even though you could have that child might have taken more risk and went after the dream, and they might have succeeded at it, and we as a whole, as a people, might have been better for the dream that they went after and manifested. So, like, holding somebody back from their dreams using religion or some type of fear, you're holding back the rest of the world almost. You're holding back the evolution of our species. All of the beautiful things that we could be creating, all of the art, all of the science, all of the different ways that we could be becoming, transforming into better individuals and into a better species as a whole. So, let's see what else these guys are talking about.
Gun rights, Second Amendment, family values. I'm down with that. Those two are very important. Guns
I'm down with all that too.
are very important to me. Why would you give a fuck how many bullets I got in my fucking clip? Why would you care if there was 15 or 9? Why are you wasting your time on that? Sounds like there's something else you're thinking about. Inch by inch, they're trying to take all our shit. You can't do it all at once.
And that might be true. Inch by inch, trying to take everything to make us more susceptible to control. But if honestly, in my opinion, I don't see it though. I don't see them succeeding in doing that. But I tend to think positively sometimes, you know? Who knows? Who the fuck? I don't know. I'm an idiot.
Stupid.
What do I know?
You gotta reduce the gun size. Why are you worried about the size of my fucking gun? Why are you worried about that?
So
they're trying to disarm us to control us. They can't control us when we have guns. They can't. Were you gonna go to Texas or Missouri?
They're trying to disarm us to control us. And somebody that preaches Christian family values as the only way is trying to disarm their kid or whoever, society, or their congregation. They're trying to disarm them of their dreams. So it's like, and I'm sure people do this on both sides of the spectrum, but just for argument's sake, we could say the right is trying to disarm children of their dreams, and the left is trying to disarm children of their family values. I think that's what the argument is here. Well, I mean, the argument with Eddie is that the left is trying to disarm us of our family values so that they can control our children. That's the argument. And there may be some elements on the left like that. Who knows? This is the realm of conspiracy theory now. It's like that's a realm of darkness where it's like you just kind of make up things to fill the void of darkness in conspiracy theories based on limited data. You know, you might have some type of data, but you kind of fill in the blanks with speculation and conjecture.
Shit. Go to Missouri and try to fucking round them up. Shit. You see what happened in Virginia? They try to implement some crazy gun control laws in Virginia. Dude, thousands of people showed up with fucking rifles and machine guns, and they went up to you ain't taking this shit. There was no violence at all. There was no agent provocateurs to start shit. They weren't gonna go there. Everybody was dressed up like a fucking Navy SEAL, because you ain't taking my shit. Why are they concerned? Like, some kid shoots up a fucking school, so...
You will take my guns from my cold, dead fingers. I think that's how it goes. Or you will pry my guns from my cold, dead hands. I think that's a Charlton Heston quote. All right, we'll move on to the next thing. I don't even remember exactly why. I just kind of clicked to the middle of this video. The whole video is good, so go watch it. Go watch that episode, number 766 with Eddie Bravo. Love Eddie. I love whenever Eddie's on stuff. I met him in person. He's a really cool guy. He was really kind. So respect Eddie, man. Gotta respect Eddie with the jiu-jitsu stuff. And I think he's a pretty intelligent guy, but I think he's wrong about the right with their family values. I think we could put that into question. Like, how strong are the family values on the right? How much do they practice what they preach? Okay, what is next here? What is next? We can't have a lull in the show. We got to cross off things. I got a really messy page of notes here. Oh yeah, this guy. I think I might have mentioned him on the first episode. And Andre Jink, or whatever his name is, this investing guy on Robinhood. I don't know if this fits into the show. Before I get into that, stay on the Joey Diaz thing. Joey Diaz, this is another thing about ads, why ads are so ridiculous. And I'll tell you a little personal story here. Joey Diaz advertises for this bidet company. And, because Joey's a really gross person, and he's always really derogatory, talking about shit and his balls and showing his balls and stuff, and on stage. This is a perfect company for him. So, but anyways, he was advertising it, and I ended up buying one. You know what I mean? Because it's like, wow, why not? Joey makes it sound so fun to use, and the way he advertises for it is so clever. So I bought one, and now I'm addicted to shooting water up my butt. So it's like, and you can be cleaner that way. You know what I mean? But that's like the problem with ads. It's like, I had no choice. I had to buy the thing. Like, I really had no decision making, no free will. It's all determinism. And at that point, I just had to get the bidet. So that was another thing on the list. I can cross that off. Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm never gonna do these ads. So that's my business model. That's my selling point. You want to watch the show, you're gonna be able to, whether I had ads or not. But if you want to help me out, any type of support, like watching it, telling other people about it, liking it, commenting's big with me. That really inspires me to keep going with something. But you can also financially support too, and you can give as much as you want or as little as you want. I will love you no matter what, forever. I will love you forever. That's a conditional love that I have. I won't love you until you support the show. So I have conditions on my love as well. There was this other cool YouTube channel that I scrolled to that was it's called the Templeton Institute, and they show ads as well. See, it's just the ad thing just keeps coming up, but the thing with them is like really clever ads that they use. And we'll type this in to find the show here. And I want to keep this kind of like a live. I can't live stream yet. I don't think I have the permission on YouTube to live stream, which I would. If I could, I would do that. Or, scratch that. That's not correct. I can live stream, but when I do, it looks like shit. I've done it before. I've live streamed, and I think there's a video on YouTube still on my channel where I live streamed, and it was like kind of choppy, and I don't know, audio was crappy, and so I have to work that out. That's another thing that I need to progress on. But this was a cool thing I wanted to show everybody. The Templeton Institute. And they do videos on fictional worlds. So like if you're into sci-fi and stuff, you'll really like this. And I watched a video where they were talking about, what is this? Yes, this is the best part of the show, the interruptions that I get. The little notifications and interruptions. And I got this thing from Conspiracy Theories and Popular Culture. I subscribe to that on Castbox. It's a show from Issac. The guy calls himself Issac Weishaupt because he's afraid to put his real name out there. And he does a conspiracy podcast, which I really like, and I like him a lot. He's a cool guy. But he this is the notification I got, the Lighthouse film analysis. I can't wait to see this. I love this kind of stuff. We dissect the lighthouse. This film features a not-so-hidden message of Luciferian enlightenment with several side topics to consider. Excuse me. I love this kind of shit, man. I love it. You know, but this is another paranoid guy that, and with him, like, I'll be a little critical of him now. With Issac Weishaupt, he's like this, he identifies as this liberal guy because he wants to be cool. He wants to be accepted. But but it's like this, he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that's like, oh, if you know me, I'm liberal and all this stuff. But Hollywood's evil. Hollywood's satanic. Hollywood's Luciferian. And that's a bad thing. You know, the thing is, you need to do a little research into Luciferianism and Satanism, the ideas there. Maybe not the aesthetics of it. You know, maybe not the gothic part of it or the look of it. Maybe that's what scares you. Or you think that all Satanists are child molesters or human sacrificers or drinkers of blood or whatever predetermined idea you have about them. Instead of doing that, why don't you read the books that they've written? Why don't you read the books that they've written before commenting on that in a negative way? You know, like, oh, this is Luciferian. So he's talking about the lighthouse as Luciferian in a negative way. That he's putting it in a negative way. He's like, see, they want to control your children. They want to control your children. They want to put these Luciferian ideas into them. That's what they do. And so, okay, that idea right there alone, it's that idea. They want to teach your children Luciferian things. That isn't bad enough. That idea isn't bad enough. Because somebody will ask, well, what's wrong with Luciferianism? What's wrong with Satanism? And then they'll say, well, Satanists like to molest children, and they like to sacrifice people, and they like to control people through the media. And they are, the CIA is satanic. And it's this whole agenda, it's this whole conspiracy to control you and your children. So that's actually more conjecture. That's actually more conspiracy theory level stuff. You know, and they have fun with it. And I love Issac because he has fun with it and he makes fun of himself too. You know, but the thing is, it's like, after a while, it's kind of offensive when you're constantly putting down Satanism and Luciferianism, when these things are really beautiful. There's really beautiful tradition and ritual within those organizations, within those kind of traditions. I don't know what I'm saying. The idea of Luciferianism, the Promethean idea of the fire that was given to us by this Titan, by this God. And he came down and gave us this fire, and that fire of inspiration is what led us out of being apes, is what led us to what we are today and what we are becoming and what we are transcending and how we're going to evolve. And it's like this process that was started by Prometheus, you know, in mythology. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. And there was, you know, there's a lot of great poetry and a lot of great films and things that were inspired by that. And I don't think that's an evil thing. I don't connect that to the child molestation thing. People always take it to that because that's the worst thing that anybody could possibly think of. And I agree, it is. That's horrible. And some people may have done that in the name of Satan or in the name of Lucifer or whatever. And it's just like doing bad things in the name of God or in the name of Christ. You know, it's the same thing. And am I supposed to judge every Christian on that and say, you know, Christianity is evil because you guys had crusades where the guys that were on the crusades were like terrorists, you know, they were murderers, they were rapists, they were pillaging, they were killing Jews and Muslims and taking over cities and ransacking villages. And am I supposed to judge every Christian based on that? No, I don't. I don't do that, because that would be ridiculous, right? That would be moronic. And so, yeah, don't judge every Luciferian based on some type of satanic thing that some idiot did. Like, not everybody is Richard Ramirez. You know what I mean? Not everybody's a serial killer that draws pentagrams and blood. So, stop putting us all in the same category. Anyways, that was a little side thing. I was talking about the Templeton Institute, right? Yeah, and I think the little distraction thing was more interesting than this. I don't even know what the hell I was going to say. Oh, Mandalorian clans. If you're into Star Wars, you know, if you're into just sci-fi worlds, fictional worlds, this is an awesome thing to watch. So for sure, check that out too. But I was watching something on the Alien universe, which I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed with H.R. Geiger. Yes, it's Geiger. A lot of people say Giger. Wait, no, it's not Geiger. It's a Giger. H.R. Giger is the correct one. Okay. And see, I even confuse that from time to time, and a lot of people do. H.R. Giger, beautiful artist. He created the biomechanical realms of his dreams and visions, you know, and it looks like kind of the future. It almost looks like the future of where we're going. And I must admit, I'm not really afraid of that future. I actually welcome it. I'm looking forward to that hellscape of biomechanical living. And a lot of people are not looking forward to that. A lot of people believe in that too, but they're fearful of it. But I would just say accept it, because that's where we're going. You know, you want to see where we're going? You really want to see the future? Look at an H.R. Giger painting. I'm telling you, it's where we're headed, and it's beautiful, and you should accept it. Stop fighting it. You know, fighting it, it's not really helping to fight it. You know, and to call it down. Oh, look at these satanic paintings, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is a big fan of H.R. Giger. See, and he's a Hollywood guy, so he's evil. Who's to say it's evil? Why is it evil? The expression of this man, this great artist. Why is that evil? He's just showing, because he was connected to the realm of dreams and ideas, and he gave himself to that, and that's what that realm showed him. It spoke through him, and he painted it and made it manifest, you know, and because of his painting, and also because of all of the ideas of Alejandro Jodorowsky, we have the alien universe. All these men put this work in individually. Jodorowsky put all the work in, and sadly, he didn't get to make his Dune film, but I'm glad that all that work was done, because it led to Dan O'Bannon, Ridley Scott, and H.R. Giger working together. And we have one of the greatest fictional realms ever created, and that's the alien universe, right? So, yeah, really glad that happened. What else was I going to talk about today? I think we covered the Templeton Institute enough. And I'm not going to... Maybe I'll play one of their things so you can see how they use their ads creatively. Where is it? Maybe I should just type that in and search it. Templeton Institute Alien. Because they got a lot of videos. Oh yeah, the Weyland-Yutani Corporation. Let's watch a little bit of this.
You're nervous. I get it. They got more talent than we do. But they are not a better team.
This movie right here.
Because they don't know what it is to fight.
Check this out, this trailer. Oh, they didn't show it. They didn't show it. that movie with Ben Affleck. Talk about this for a minute too. Another welcome distraction. It's cold now. But in that movie, Ben Affleck, it's like the first trailer that I seen, they didn't show it in this one. They might have gotten some flack for it, some heat. Because Ben Affleck's drinking in every fucking scene. You know, he's got a beer in the shower. Oh, you're that beer in the shower guy. There was an ad for that like a while back. You're the beer in the shower type. You know, you're just a fucking alcoholic. Even when you're taking a shower, you can't even relax because you got to have a beer in the shower. Because in the trailer, they're trying to show how much of an alcoholic Ben Affleck is. And he's got a beer in every fucking scene. He's got a beer, you know, because, that's the thing that character struggles with. You know, that's his flaw. We like him. You've identified his flaw. We love this character. We can relate because we're all weak-ass, bitch-ass alcoholics too. And we're just such weak people, and we can identify with that. So yeah, I really love that character because he has a beer in the shower. I'm really going to go see that movie because he's drinking a beer in the shower, just like I do. You know, after I watched that Miller commercial. I've been doing that ever since I've watched that Miller commercial. I've been drinking beers in the shower. Please, don't make me fucking lose my breakfast. Weyland-Yutani Corporation. This is really cool. This is like really, really good YouTube channel.
Growing from the financiers of colonization in the earliest days of extrasolar travel to inseparable pillars of interstellar society, the rise of the so-called megacorporations was a development that many barely noticed. Was it the wealth of dozens of worlds that led to the creation of such dominant entities? Or was expansion across the stars simply a side effect of their perpetual growth? Regardless of whether power begot wealth or wealth begot power, none could deny the influence of these modern merchant kings. On colonies across the frontier, entire populations were completely dependent upon a single conglomerate for their current livelihood and future prospects, for the food they ate and the air they breathed. These megacorporations operated without oversight, free to pursue their own agendas, to keep their own secrets. And none kept more than Weyland-Yutani. While the company was officially founded in 2099, resulting from the largest corporate merger in history, the vision for what Weyland-Yutani would one day become was affirmed in a dramatic fashion over 7 decades earlier. In a now legendary conference talk, Sir Peter Weyland of the eponymous Weyland Corporation promised to change the world.
That was a cool thing that a cool extra that was featured in the Prometheus Blu-ray. They, I think you could probably pull it up on YouTube. It's a short video of Peter Weyland, and it's a TED Talk that he's giving. I'm not sure what year it is in the timeline, in the Weyland-Yutani time, or back then that was before the merger of Weyland-Yutani. This is like, the universe of Alien is so vast. It's so filled with things, and then it's really cool also that world of Alien is connected to the universe of Blade Runner. That's like super exciting to me. And maybe sometime Ridley Scott can do a film that's kind of a crossover between them, you know, like low-key crossover, like a whole different movie that doesn't have Alien in the title, that doesn't have Blade Runner in the title, but it's a whole different, just like Prometheus. They tried to make Prometheus its own story, its own film, which I think was the perfect idea to do. And it was kind of disappointing that Alien is still in the title with the sequel, Covenant. And like I could do without that, but I mean I still loved Alien Covenant, but it would be cool if there was just a film, just its own film storyline, but it was within the universe of Alien and Blade Runner. It would be beautiful, I think.
Although even at the time of this declaration, it could be argued he already had. Since its founding in 2012, the company had achieved extraordinary success with tremendous breakthroughs in renewable energy, climate change, cancer research, and weapons development. The limitless ambition of the Wayland Corporation matched that of its founder. For the remainder of the century, the company not only kept up with the rapidly accelerating pace of technological development, but seemed to set the standard by which progress was measured. Each year brought new discoveries and new acquisitions. Atmospheric processing, powered exoskeletons, aerospace craft and vehicles intended for use off-world, automated surgical stations, and cybernetic individuals completely indistinguishable from their human counterparts. It was this latter development that brought Wayland Corp into direct competition with the Yutani Corporation, whose own developments into synthetic life forms sparked a series of patent disputes between the two megacorporations. These would eventually be resolved in Wayland Corp's favor, paving the way for the hostile takeover of their competitor. Now fully in control of assets and capital that nearly rivaled those of the largest sovereign states, the newly rechristened Wayland Yutani quickly became the primary supplier of humanity's extrasolar colonization efforts. Atmospheric processing plants were the backbone of this endeavor. Immense, automated pieces of machinery that could convert an inhospitable atmosphere to one capable of supporting human colonization in just a few decades. Entire company towns would
Hadley's
spring
Hope.
up around these structures, its citizens employed by Wayland Yutani to oversee data.
Oh, this is another thing that went through my mind as I'm watching this. Everybody says Aliens is the best film of the whole franchise. Just like everybody says Empire Strikes Back is the best film of the Star Wars franchise. And when everybody says it, I have to go against it. I'm sorry. Aliens is not the best film of the franchise. I would say Alien, the first one is. And in my opinion, Prometheus is a very close to the best film in the franchise. And I will argue that to the death. Aliens is not the best film. It's a fantastic film. And I especially love Bill Paxton in it. But it's not the best. You know, all you fucking hipsters, you got to realize, if you're a hipster, you must realize that you're a hipster. You must realize it and own it, okay? You got to know that it's not cool to just jump on a bandwagon and say something is, to say Empire Strikes Back is the best. You can't just do that. If you see a lot of people saying, yeah, Empire's the best, yeah, Empire's the best, you got to find a way that it's not the best, okay? You have to rebel. You must go against the crowd, no matter what they're saying. Even if they're saying something you agree with, you have to go against it, okay? You need to stop being one of the herd. Just because it's okay to grow a beard doesn't mean you should grow one, okay? Doesn't mean you should grow one so that you can stand around in Starbucks with your hands halfway in your pockets and look around and, am I accepted? Am I safe to be here? Because I look like everyone else. I'm dressed the same way and I got my beard and I'm looking around. I got my girlfriend that controls my life and runs my life and wears the pants. And am I safe here? Looking around with your little doe eyes, little puppy dog eyes, and your big giant fucking ugly nasty beard. Am I okay? Am I okay here, guys? Everything okay? You have to realize, and I know a lot of those guys that do that they have delicate hearts. You know, they're probably really loving, accepting people, and that's great. You know, I like that too about you. You're a beautiful person. Don't get me wrong. But you must realize that you're a hipster. Don't lean into it. Don't identify with that. You don't want that. You need to move away from that, okay? You need to move away from it. Get a black cup of coffee from some greasy diner, you know? Just do that. Do that and sit in the cafe and meditate and look at the rough characters coming in, the overweight, dirty truck driver that's been on the road for his whole life. He hasn't seen his family in 15 years because he's working hard, driving that truck. 15 years has passed. He wants to go home. He just can't. He has to keep making that money. Can't stop. That character. You see him sitting there eating his all meat, whatever, Grand Slam or whatever it is, you know. And then you got the typical waitress that calls you honey, you know, and she's not calling you that because you're cool. She just calls all the guys that. Dear, honey, sweetie, sweetheart. Say hi to her. You can order some coffee and talk to her, you know. And you can see the crazy guy that's outside screaming at nothing. He's having a conversation. Interesting conversation with nobody. Nobody's there. He's talking to somebody. You can't see him. There is really somebody there, but it's just an entity in another realm that he's connected to. See, you're going to miss out on all this stuff if you just go to some gentrified Starbucks. You're going to miss out on all the characters. So stop being a fucking hipster. Okay, I went off on a tangent there. And another thing. This reminds me. I was talking to my really good friend Daniel. He's my best friend in the world, and the way that we met was because of a band called Limp Bizkit. I met Daniel. I believe it was 1998 that I met him. And I was skateboarding at this junior high and after school, and I was with my little crew skateboarding, and he was with his crew hanging out, and his like a little hip hop crew. And he had a Limp Bizkit shirt. And I was like, "Hey man, cool shirt." And that was the first time we met, you know. If it wasn't for Limp Bizkit, I wouldn't have met Daniel, who, after all this time, has continued to be my friend. What was that, 22 years, almost 22 years ago? So, I don't know what Limp Bizkit did in their career. I don't know what they did to deserve the hatred that they have, and then everybody pretends like they didn't like them growing up. They pretend like that wasn't the shit back then. They pretend like that there wasn't a song in a video with Method Man in it. They pretend like there was never a song with Snoop Dogg. They pretend all of this stuff, all this cool shit that Limp Bizkit did over the years, and they pretend like it never happened. Because why? Because it's cool to hate Limp Bizkit. Because that's what the majority of people do, and the people don't want to face scrutiny by saying they like Limp Bizkit. They don't want to look like they're not cool, like they're not intelligent. I think that's the main thing, is that people are afraid to be looked at as unintelligent. You know, forget cool. I think people are just afraid of, like, if I say I like Limp Bizkit, it'll make me look like an idiot, you know, make me look stupid. You know what I mean? And it's the same with the whole Juggalo thing, you know, and you know, I probably shouldn't even speak on the Juggalo thing because I don't really understand it. I don't know enough about Insane Clown Posse and all those groups to even really criticize anything. What I see from the outside looking in, I respect that. I respect Juggalo, the whole fan base. Like, if you can, what ICP did in creating this whole group of other rappers and like a whole tribe of fans that are loyal to them, and they got a symbol that people tattoo on their skin. Like, if you can do that, man, like, you've done it all. You've made it. You know, I don't care how successful or how rich they are or whatever, or how popular they are. If you can create a fan base like that, man, you have made it for sure. You've made it all the way. You've done what you're supposed to do in life. So yeah, I don't understand the hatred towards things like this. And I don't understand the hatred toward Limp Bizkit, man. I'll put on some of that old music. Like, I kind of grew out of it as I got into my 20s. I kind of grew out of Limp Bizkit. I never hated them. Like, I just kind of stopped listening. I found other stuff to listen to, you know. But I go back and I listen to that old shit. It's still good. You know, it's awesome. And it brings back good memories for me. It's a nostalgia thing. And I don't listen to it ironically to make fun of myself or make fun of them. I listen to it because it's good music still. Oh, and there's an ad with, we might as well watch this. if you haven't seen it yet, there's an ad on TV. Oh, and forgive me for I'm like anti-ad, but I'm a fucking hypocrite too. I'm anti-ad, but I always play ads on here and comment on them. You know, that's a big part of this show, is to comment on the ads and kind of reveal them, you know, and I'll say the truth about them and whatnot. I don't even know, how would I search this? Fred Durst. It's a CarMax ad, and I thought it was pretty clever, though. If I play it, I know that it's gonna do. And this is from I'm not gonna feature anything unless I give credit. It's from a channel called Best Ads, Expert's Choice. It's the first time I've ever seen this channel. If I play this, it's gonna do a copyright thing, I know for sure. I'm gonna look in their description box. Okay, they didn't get one yet. Because usually if there's a song involved, what I've been noticing, if there's a song involved in your video, you're going to get a copyright claim, and then YouTube is going to generate a link to, or it's going to generate the information for the song featured in the video. So it's kind of cool, because I guess that whoever made the song, in this case Limp Bizkit, would get a royalty for every time my video is viewed, or whoever's featuring their music in their video. So I guess that's kind of a cool thing, but I was thinking that might one day lead to YouTube putting ads on those videos. And I wouldn't want that to happen. I mean, if that happens and I don't have control over it, so be it. But like, I'll make this commitment to you, the viewer. Just like I said, I will never put ads on my videos. I will never monetize my channel. No matter what. The channel's not getting monetized. I will only survive off of the support. So I will only survive if you enjoy watching, if you like the show. So let's check this out real quick. Limp Bizkit! Yeah. Did it all for the...
to get rid of this car.
Oh, I gotta see.
But who'd buy it?
See?
With a CD changer that's stuck playing Limp Bizkit. Over.
Who would buy
and
it?
Over and over.
She's so angry that it's playing Limp Bizkit. And the kids love it, see? See, the kids know. The kids know what's cool. They're just dancing to it because it's like, they're like, yeah, this is good. This is good music. And the mom is like, I fucking hate Limp Bizkit. Not because it's over and over again, because it's stuck on Limp Bizkit. Out of all the bands that it could be stuck on, it's stuck on fucking Limp Bizkit. Fuck you, hipster. And I mean, CarMax, it's cool to hate Limp Bizkit, right? But at least they featured Fred Durst in the ad. Here he is.
Just sell it to CarMax. We'll buy any car, even this one. Because that's the way it should be. CarMax.
See, and he's like, and even Fred Durst is like, someone's playing my music? That never happens. People hate us. I don't know about these people. You know, I don't know. Oh, but the Nookie. Okay, I got a personal story to go with this one, because that was the hit in those times. And my friend's dad, I think I had a Limp Bizkit shirt, and he would always criticize all my shirts. One time I had a Punisher shirt with the skull, the old school logo, like the old school, like Punisher Warzone, it was the same skull. It was in Punisher Armory, Punisher War Journal, Punisher Warzone, which was my personal favorite. But I used to have that skull, that old Marvel Comics Punisher skull. And my friend's dad is like, what is that? What is that skull? I said, oh, it's a comic book hero, named the Punisher. He's a vigilante, he kills bad people. Well, it looks horrible. And he would always criticize my shirts. And one time I had a Limp Bizkit shirt, and at the time, Nookie was the biggest hit that was out. Everybody knew about it. Limp Bizkit was a household name because even this fucking square knew about it. And he's like, do you know that they have a song called Nookie? I was like, yeah, I know. And he's like, do you know what that is? Do you know what I did it all for the Nookie means? And I don't even remember what I said to him because he was kind of an asshole, but I probably lied and said, no, I don't know what does it mean. It's a song about sex. He's talking about he did it all for the sex, So he was this uppity fucking square, and he would always criticize what we did. Which, you need that. You need that kind of pushback from the older generation, I guess. It's kind of good that they push back and they try to hold kids back, because then that gives us fire to fight back, and that gives us the fire in the belly to keep going. You got to have some kind of pushback, right? All right, so what's next? Let's see. Oh yeah, the next thing that I wanted to get to was, okay, so I wrote down fuck anybody that doesn't like Limp Bizkit. Cross that out because we covered that. And one of the other things I would like to go over was this. There's a guy named Aubrey de Grey that was on Joe Rogan, and he is this British, I think he's British. I should have did my research. Immortality. See, let's watch a little bit. Let's learn about this guy a little bit before we criticize him too much. Aubrey de Grey on how science will help us end end aging and become something. Let's see. We're not going to watch the whole video, so don't worry. We've got a 49-minute video here.
If you take a testosterone supplement to raise your testosterone levels, nothing's going to happen. Why? Because...
I'll tell you why. No, well, I'm just kidding.
Hi, I'm Must Reader, and this is a YouTube show for those who like books, book person.
Books.
Today, here with me is Aubrey de Grey, #1 person in the world who fights aging. Hi, Aubrey.
Thanks for having me on the show.
I'm glad you came to Russia. Did you already drink some Russian vodka?
I am not really a vodka kind of guy.
But you should, if you didn't.
All right, come on then.
I have special glasses that we use in Russia.
Okay.
We are prepared. I thought it's kind of weird that you, as an expert on aging and on prolonging your life, have a healthy attitude towards alcohol.
I think it's always important to understand that everybody is different in their metabolism. Some people have much stronger alcohol tolerance than others. Some people have much better tolerance of high sugar diets. Some people have much better tolerance of exercise. Some people need more, some people need less. I'm a lucky guy. I am well built. Somehow or other, my biological age is very much younger than my real age.
Which is complete bullshit, because he looks like he's at least, like without exaggerating, this guy looks like he's at least in his 70s to me.
No, I do not do any exercise really, and I eat and drink exactly what I like. So I don't say that everybody should live the way I live at all. I say that everybody should pay attention to their bodies and do what works for them.
No argument here. He's spot on, right?
Wow, this sounds like a toast. So in Russia, we drink vodka not as a long drink, but we drink it as a shot. We take it as a gulp.
No, I'm not doing that.
You're not doing that?
Vodka.
No, I like to enjoy my drinks.
But we, in Russia, we have harsh conditions of living. We don't enjoy it. We drink it.
Watch the video, I'll be back.
To make our hearts beat faster, Not to enjoy it like a connoisseur's gourmet.
I'm sorry, Grigory. This is the summer. I will drink it the way I want to drink
your
it.
rules.
Indeed.
To longevity.
To longevity.
Now we are ready to start.
What did I miss?
Let's start from the basics. I'm going to ask some silly questions that
I changed my mind. We're going to watch this whole video, the whole 49 minutes.
Debian transhumanists already know something about, but most of our viewers don't.
Okay.
First question. Is it possible to combat aging at all? Isn't it like a natural thing that happens to all of us? Our bodies degrade and we get older and get sick and die?
This is not a stupid question. People naturally presume that aging is something that is inevitable because they see that everything gets old. But what this overlooks is that we already have very successful, effective ways of preventing aging in simple machines. For example, we have cars today that are more than 100 years old. And those cars were not designed to last 100 years. They were designed to last maybe 10 years. The reason they have lasted longer is because we know enough about how they work and about what goes wrong with them after 10 years that we can stop those things from going wrong.
I really like this guy. I really like him. I like what he's saying. I agree 100% that you have to pay attention to your body and really listen to your body to kind of fine-tune your diet and what you eat, the amount you eat, when you eat, if you eat at all, when you do exercise, how much to do. You have to really listen to your body. I really agree with this, and I've been doing this too, and I feel so much better. I have way more energy. I want to exercise more. How can I rephrase that? I've been exercising more because I feel like I have all this extra energy, so I'm like, fuck yeah, let's exercise. And I just randomly do different things. What works for me is to not have a schedule for exercising, which I had a rigorous schedule at one point, and I ended up like injuring myself because I was trying to keep to that schedule and the type of workouts and things, and you have to really fine tune it to your body. So I really agree with this guy on that point. But the thing is, I think he's like, I think he's in his 60s because I watched him on Joe Rogan, and he's really kind of a disagreeable person, and he kept kind of going against whatever Joe would say, which is kind of annoying to me. And he's really kind of an annoying person. I think he really just doesn't like Joe Rogan or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what it is. There's something there that was making him be a cunt. But the thing is, that made me want to criticize him. And the way he looks. When he talks, he sounds like he doesn't have any teeth. Like, where's your teeth at, man? You're the anti-aging guy. Where the fuck are your teeth? And you have that long wizard's beard. Maybe if he shaved it, he'd look like he was in his 60s. And he talks about, I'm a very lucky guy because I'm very lucky because I biologically age very well and I can eat whatever I want and do these things, but not everybody's like that. Well, you're not very lucky because you have no fucking teeth, man. And you look like you're in your goddamn 90s. So if you're the leader of the anti-aging thing, fucking hire somebody else to be your spokesperson for it. Hire somebody else that you teach all your stuff to, and he can be the spokesperson for this movement. Because I really want to follow this movement. I really want to support it. But the guy at the forefront of it looks like like the hermit from the tarot deck. You look like you've been living in a cabin your whole life. You look like you've been living in a cabin your whole life. And you haven't really got out of it, and you haven't been doing TED Talks, you haven't been on Joe Rogan, you've just been living in a cabin aging because you hate the world. That's what you look like. You've been aging. You're the anti-aging guy. Stop aging. Give us somebody that's in their 90s that looks like they're in their 50s, and then I'll believe you. Let's keep watching.
And the way we do it...
Let's keep scrolling.
...is simply by repairing the damage that they are accumulating early on, before that damage becomes so severe that the doors of the car fall off. For the human body, it's exactly the same. The human body is set up to tolerate a certain amount of the damage that it does to itself throughout its normal operation, but only a certain amount. And therefore, if we are able to repair that damage before it becomes excessive, before it starts to make the body work.
Ah, shit. I messed it up. Sorry about that interruption. Anyways.
If you're looking to tone up or burn belly
here it
fat,
is.
then listen in. Because look, I've helped over 400,000
you know
people
what?
get into the best shape of their life. But if I'm going to help you too,
you know what?
then I need to break.
This is war. This is a war against ads. And in a war, you learn, you gather all the information from the enemy. You gather it up before you make a move, and then you make your move, right? I've been gathering enough ammunition, enough fuel for the fire to fight these motherfuckers. And the way that I'm going to do it in my own life with my show is by not running ads, by not advertising for a company. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play their ads. You're going to see them, and I'm going to criticize them. And this guy right here, I've seen this guy so many times. I'm really starting to not like it. At first I was like, he's got a nice body. You know, he looks like he's put together. He looks like he knows what he's talking about. I'll listen to him. You know, but I'm getting really sick of this desperateness of running your ads. Invading people's lives with your ads. Do you understand what you're doing? You are becoming a very repulsive human being.
This down and start at the very beginning. Okay, quick exercise. Place your hands on your stomach right now. Come on. Grab the belly fat. Now, how long have you been struggling with everything that's in your hands right now?
My whole life.
And why haven't you taken care of this before? Mainstream media has led us to believe that more cardio, less calories, and more supplements and heavier weights is the answer to all our prayers. But if you've tried this method, there's a 100% chance, not 80, not 90, not 99, 100% chance that you wish you were in better shape right now. Okay. And that's what I'm on a mission to fix.
So I noticed...
You just can't seem...
I noticed, I can't rewind on the ad, I don't think. I noticed that he had an Air Force, I think it was an Air Force shirt or whatever. So, you know, props to you. Thank you for your service, sir. But yeah, you're still trying to sell something to me. I'm done with this. I'm done with your ads. You're running ads on YouTube. Which, you know, that's the way you make business. That's the way you make your money. More power to you. But there's still something that bothers me about it, you know? It's invasive. I came here to watch Aubrey de Grey talk about the science on how to end aging, that aging is a disease and that we should treat it as a disease and that we should not look at aging as something that we just do. Treat it as a disease and then stop it from happening. I agree with that 100%. I can't wait for those days when we treat aging as like cancer or AIDS or something, you know what I mean? We look at aging the same way we look at all those other diseases, other sicknesses. And then we can help people to stop aging and help people on the path to immortality. And I don't think that I'm going to find the path to immortality in your fucking ad, in your workout program that only you know, that only you can do. If you really care about humans, give it for free. How about that? I'm going to skip your ad, buddy.
The human body is set up to tolerate a certain amount of the damage that it does to itself throughout its normal operation, but only a certain amount. And therefore, if we are able to repair that damage before it becomes excessive, before it starts to make the body work less well and eventually not work at all, then we're done. That's all we need to do. So my work is all about figuring out what those repair strategies need to be.
Can you name some examples?
Well, the easiest example to explain is stem cell therapy, because this is something that most people are already familiar with.
I love stem cell therapy.
What is stem cell therapy? If we think about it, really all it is we put cells into the body that can divide and transform themselves into replacements for cells that the body needs. So then we must ask, why does the body need new cells like this? Why shouldn't it just create cells on its own by the division of the cells that are already there?
Why?
And the answer is, well, in most cases, that's exactly what it does. But in some cases, in old age, it just doesn't know how to do that. So the cells die, but they are not replaced by the division of other cells. So what we are doing by stem cell therapy is augmenting, helping what the body already does most of the time, and just making it do it all the time.
Aubrey told me he's no longer inspired by books, but I am, and I'm inspired by audiobooks as well.
He's no longer inspired by books because he's a cunt. I'm sorry to say this. I don't want to say he's a British cunt because that's kind of racist, because I love the British people and I'm British myself. I'm part British and part Native American and God knows what else. And if you know, I'm Choctaw Indian. I have a lot of Choctaw Indian blood, but I have a lot of British blood, and my last name comes from the motherland as well, from the UK, from Great Britain, from the English monarchy. But he is a British cunt. I think he's become bitter. I think that Aubrey de Grey has become bitter. And he's taking it out on everything else. He's like, I'm not inspired by books anymore because I know everything now, and because there's nothing else to learn. I know about not aging, and I'm going to teach that. And fuck everyone else's books because I'm above them. You're not above them because you look like you're 103 years old, but you're only 60. And you say, oh, I'm lucky, and I'm lucky because I'm built like a god. I'm built like a god, and I'm going to age very well. That might be true. You may be aging very well, but you haven't so far. You may age very well and be healthier than everybody, but you have no teeth. That's the only point I'm trying to make here. Aubrey, your name's Aubrey, number one. That's the first thing I have against you. And number two, you have no teeth. You should at least have, come on, man, get some veneers at least. Sell this thing a little bit. You know what I mean? Sell it. You're not a fucking hermit. Shave the beard. If you're a hermit, keep the look that you have. That's awesome. Be that archetype in the tarot. Keep the beard, okay? But you're not that archetype. You're this magician. You're this healer, right? You're this magician, and you're going to help us to stop aging. So why don't you look more like the magician archetype instead of a 103-year-old hermit? I'm done with this video, by the way. Oh, wait. No, I'm not done. I want to see what this guy says, what the host says.
Which I listen to on a daily basis in my favorite audiobooks service, Storytel. Storytel
he's giving his ad. Don't pay attention to this. I'm not even going to talk about whatever he's advertising. Because he's like interrupted his own show to do an ad. You see how horrible this is? Like, you see the continuity of the fucking show. Like, I don't even want to watch the rest of the video now. I'm done with the video now. I was going to watch all 49 minutes. I'm now done with it because 6 minutes in, he has to put an ad in. I'm done with it. I'm absolutely done. Because it's fake to me. It's truth, but it's like truth mixed in with falsehood. It's mixed in with trying to sell me someone else's product. He's not even selling me his product. He's not selling me a coffee mug or a t-shirt or something, which I don't mind. I don't mind people making money off of that, which I will probably do that in the future. I'll design some cool coffee mugs because I'm a fiend for caffeine. So I'll have some scroll session coffee mugs coming at you pretty soon that'll be available. And I don't have a problem with that because that's a way that you support the show. That's the way you support the people that you like to listen to, without having to be bombarded by some other company, some other outside influence coming in to my show to lead you to their product, to lead you to their bullshit, which their product may be fantastic. It may be great, but it's like Tesla, perfect example. Tesla has never run one ad on anything. You'll never see a Tesla ad anywhere. I've never seen one. If you see one, let me know and I'll look at it and I'll review it on the show. And I'll give you credit for bringing it up. By the way, that reminds me, I wanted to give credit to Rob, this guy that's on my Facebook page. And he gave me the idea of like, I should do an intro song, you know, and he had a bunch of like funny, quirky things that he said. And that influenced me to do the Everybody Wants to Scroll the World intro that I did today on this show. So thanks, Rob. Shout out to Rob on Facebook. Thank you for commenting and engaging with me and with the show. So now you're a part of the show, man. So if you keep commenting, I'll keep mentioning your name. And same goes with anybody else. You know, if you want to be part of the show, leave me some comments and you may just be mentioned. You know what I mean? If you really want to be part of the show, if you really want me to love you forever, if you really want my conditional love, because there are conditions with my love. If you really want my love, support the show with your money, with your hard-earned finances, and I will appreciate it for sure. Like, no, all joking aside, all bullshit aside, I will truly appreciate it, and you'll be a saint in my books forever. So with that, I think I'll end the show, and I'd like to thank you, whoever you are, for watching. Whoever you are out there, thank you for watching, and just you watching it is support. Just you liking or subscribing or whatever you do, commenting, supporting financially, all of it is all relevant. All of it is important to me and to this show, and it helps me go and it keeps the fire alive. And I thank you for that. Thank you for tuning in. I love you. Only on one condition. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.